Paranormal. Para X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The calling.
And good evening, everyone. Another beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, and it's nice weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. I heard that from a bear somewhere. Anyway, Kimberly Juarez, how you doing?
Well, hello, Jerry. I'm doing good.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, what are you doing here?
Why, is that the way I sound? What are you doing? You know that it's thundering right now and raining. It's sprinkling over here.
Oh, over here it's not. I don't believe so.
Is
It's
the
getting
sun
darker.
out?
No,
Isn't that weird?
it's all
Yeah.
clouded up and stuff.
Yeah, it's super gray and stuff like
Wow.
that. So, yeah, but
Wow.
yeah, it's sprinkling and stuff. So how are you? How's Willow? Hi, Willow.
Willow Machant.
I'm good. Beta finally left, so I think we're out of the hurricanes for right now.
That's good.
Wow.
That was
Well,
crazy.
Was there was
Yeah.
another one that came through too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Beta.
Yeah, beta. Yeah,
Okay.
it kind of we got rain, but we didn't get really a lot of heavy wind. It was like in the 20s. It wasn't like 20 mile an hour. It wasn't severe, but we did get rain nonstop, light rain. It just like constant drizzle. It was so gloomy for days.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the witchy vibe of New Orleans.
Actually, it was just depressing. We'll go with witchy vibe. Okay, it was just depressing, but okay.
That's funny. Let's see. Steve's saying it is storming good up here, 45 miles north of Brainerd, Minnesota.
Oh, see? Look at
Oh.
that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we're supposed to get a little bit of it. I think it comes back around or something and hits us like in the AM or something.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not a weatherman, man.
Yeah.
Weather person. Huh? Person.
I wouldn't want to be a weather person because they really don't. It's never the way they say it is.
It isn't. You know, I think they got one of those weather globes that they shake it, you know, sort of like.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that one. Jerry. You can
There
show us.
There was a guy on Channel 5 about 10 or 15 years ago, and I remember him saying it's going to be starting to cloud up here soon. Right now we have partly cloudy outside right now, and all of a sudden one of the anchors yelled out, "Have you looked out the window lately? It's storming." And he said, "They keep me indoors in the basement, and I'm in a 5x7 area. I don't know these things." And it was just
hilarious.
the biggest laugh. It was in the papers and everything, you know, and this poor guy, he was so red, and you could just tell all he wanted was a glass of water and just walk away to a bar and get drunk. You know?
Right?
It's just hilarious. Just hilarious. Oh, Steve's
That
saying
is
there's
funny.
no thunderstorms right now. Ask again later. Exactly, Willow.
Yep.
Wow. So
That's
we
funny.
were up north not too long ago. We went up to Effie, Minnesota, and man, it's like Attack of the Bugs.
Is it really?
What in the hell? In the car, we're fine. We get out of the car, everything's okay, and then all of a sudden you hear this little humming, and it's like these gnats. They go into your hair and into your scalp, and they just constantly. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And my hands down by my thumbs, they were eating them alive. Where I had these. It was just terrible. Nowhere else, just on my thumbs and stuff. And we lit up some sage sticks and just put them down on the ground. And boy, they all stayed away. Mm-hmm. It was just awesome. And it's funny. My roommate, and also she's part of SIM, Supernatural Investigators Minnesota, my team. She was hilarious because we were on the way back, and she'd be looking around. She goes, "There's a fly. Open up all the windows now." And then I would, and she's like, "No, there's, I'd say, well, it's gone. No, it's not. It's hiding in back." And then we'd roll up all the windows. And my God, they would be coming back and everything else and stuff, It was just, I guess you had to be there. It was fun. And Snooky's even saying too, "Yep, they're eating me up." They were eating me up. It's like, the bugs are terrible. Anyway, so we're going to wait till more people get on. Hello, Stephanie. She's saying hello to everybody. Before the quizzes, we're going to do 3 quizzes, and it's going to test how well you know the calling. Because a lot of you have been in the chat room for years.
Yeah.
And you guys should know all this stuff. Yeah. You shut up, Kim. She was hilarious. She's like, "I don't even know those." And I go, "Are you serious?" She goes, "No, I don't know."
I did okay. I knew it was Stephanie.
Okay, well, there
I knew
goes
something
that
about
question.
Stephanie. I knew about Stephanie. Just say that.
That question's gone. We'll do a new one.
I just killed it.
She's the one that the kids always go to on Christmas. "Mom, what did I get for Christmas?" "Oh, I can't tell you. It's a sweater, honey. Forget it. I can't tell you."
I just messed it up. Sorry, Jerry.
We're going to call you the broadcaster.
I love it. No, but this should be like ultimate fans, because there's been a lot of people that have been with you for years. So yes, there should be some good fans out there.
Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, that is.
Oh, wait a minute. Kat's saying that that's why no one's here. They know there's a test involved.
I love it.
What do you mean, no one? I'm sure that there's people listening. Now, this is where you put in the awkward radio silence.
Just kidding.
Kimberly. Okay, so tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about alien abduction, specifically a certain man by the name of Stan Romanek. And we're also going to talk about, for just a little bit, channeling interdimensionally. Is it possible? And I guess I have to say that, I'm pretty skeptical. And, but, there's 3 of us, and some aren't that skeptical. Some believe, others, we'll talk about it. So how did you know about, let's start out with Willow. How did you know about this Stan Romanek?
I watch a lot of Netflix and Prime because I'm bored. And one of my favorite topics is aliens. And so I was just, checking it out, and I'm like, what's this guy all about? And I thought, okay, well, I've not watched this one yet, so let's watch it. And in the beginning, I thought it was very interesting in the beginning. I'm not completely sold on his supposed alien video part.
Okay.
I think that's where he screwed up. I think if that hadn't been in there, I think he would have been a little bit more believable. I'm not going to sit here and completely say nothing ever happened to him. I'm not going to say
Right.
that. Because something's happened to me a few times, and that's why I'm not going to say somebody didn't have an experience. I think that maybe it's just the way they put the show together. It could have been done better, and so that could make it look more, I guess, hokey.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think something happened to him. I just
Right.
don't know exactly to what extent.
So this Stan Romanek, when she told me about it, and I started watching it last night, and he had me. He had me in the beginning, showing the different UFOs, and that it almost seemed like they were following him and stuff. And he felt that he had lost time, and he had some marks on him, which he really had me.
Mhm.
But then
Mhm.
he started going, with the pictures of shadow people in his home, which, we've seen shadow people being a paranormal investigator.
Right.
And I believe that, that they're, I believe in shadow people, and nobody knows what they are. Could they be alien? Oh, they could be. A lot of people think, oh, no, it's people that have died. The jury is totally out on that, and a lot of people, especially Amy Allen, she thinks that shadow people are evil, that they've never ever been a human whatsoever.
Right.
They can take human
Yeah.
form, but they are dangerous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've ran across a couple. The first time I ran into one, it wasn't dangerous to me. It was actually looking at me, and I was looking at it, and I was, like, wow, that looks like a person standing there. And then all of a sudden it turned to the side and walked away. And it's like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that I seen it. It was like studying me and I'm studying it, just, the same curiosities. And then when I went to go and tell everybody about it, I thought they'd be a little bit more excited, but they were trying to put some of our equipment together, and they couldn't do it, so they were more mad about that. That was roughly one of our biggest first ever investigations. But so he pretty much had me going until he started showing an alien looking through a window at
Okay.
him. And then the alien looks up, and you see this big bubble balloon head and these eyes and his little mouth, and it just goes back down again slowly. If anybody is peeking in at someone and then all of a sudden they don't want to be noticed, they'll jump down. That never happened. Everything was moved slowly. And then at one point it showed a full body of this alien, and then the alien moves back slowly, not moving. There's no jump, there's no vibration, there's nothing to it. And then that's when he lost me. But UFO wise, I believe in UFOs. I've seen them. Aliens, have I seen it? Nope. I haven't. Do I believe that there's aliens in UFOs? I don't know. But to me, being that there could possibly be,
And you, Willow, what did you think when you saw it? Because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the video yet. So
I believed the marks that he was finding. That was the stuff that really got me into the video too, to the show. And then I thought it was a little odd that he had the typical gray alien, and it was like, I know my experience was not a typical gray. That doesn't say that other people don't have a typical gray.
Right.
But, it's like, but can we get any more cliche than your typical little gray alien popping its head up and then lowering it down and then popping back up again, knowing that it's been seen, supposedly. I mean, and then back down again. And I did find that very funny. And then the patio door scene where you see the full alien, and none of its extremities moved.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It was like a static thing that just moved back.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they all move normal, because they don't.
Right.
Because I've seen
Right.
some things that
Now
was not normal. But
Now, was he saying that this was the same day that this happened? Like, first you saw him in the window, and then all of a sudden you see
I
the
think
little
it
alien.
was.
Yeah.
Was it the same day?
Yeah, that same night. Yeah.
Okay. And what does he say? Like, is he saying that, okay, this is what happens. First I see shadow people, or I've seen UFOs, and then shadow people, and then all of a sudden I had the next day there's this alien visiting me. Is that what he's trying to say, that this is happening to him?
Well, he knew he was being abducted, is what he started to claim, because
Okay.
he was waking up with marks on his body.
Okay.
His wife would wake up in the middle of the night and he'd be gone.
Okay.
And then he'd show up, just with a mark on him and things like that. Weird stuff was going on for him. And everything was, like I said, everything I was following until the alien thing. And the actual showing of the gray. It just kind of went, really? Why'd you have to go and ruin the show?
Okay. Well, what about the wife? Did she have any experiences?
Other than him being missing, waking up in the middle of the night and he's nowhere to be found.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I mean, she completely backed him.
Yeah.
And everybody else was backing him too. Like, he had groups of people that were, supporting his claims, but I don't know.
Huh.
He did capture a lot of other photos that was kind of weird, things in the background of pictures that he was taking of other people and things like that. And I'm not so certain about those.
So were these the people, did he take pictures of the shadowing, or did he have a film of shadowing?
Yeah, he had a paranormal group come in, I think, and took photo and did an actual investigation in his house.
Yep.
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I posted it in the
I'll have to watch
the room.
it.
It's like an hour something long and stuff. And we're only an hour show.
Yeah, it's an actual regular full-length movie kind of thing.
So this is my thought. So has this been happening to him, this, like, out through his life, or all of a sudden stuff started happening to him?
I don't remember how long
I don't remember
it was.
either.
I think he was an adult, though. I mean, he was an adult when this happened. Maybe in his 20s or 30s.
Huh.
Right.
Nothing else, like, to his family? Like, did he have kids and they claimed that they had the same experiences? That maybe he
I think he had a stepson. That's all I know.
So that's interesting to me, the whole thing about, and then showing the alien, and obviously I don't know if it was the same alien or if it, you know what I mean? But you guys said that's where it killed the story, basically, when you guys saw the alien.
I mean,
right.
And it's great if you could capture something like that. That'd be awesome. But at least, you would. I've seen better stuff on YouTube.
Well, that's another thing too. Some of those. I watched 4 or 5 videos last night on everything from channeling, which we'll talk about here soon, to alien abduction and stuff. And I just, there's some videos out there that are pretty cool, but I don't buy into the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just too skeptical, I guess, and to really believe in a lot of that stuff. I know Willow comes from the planet Cat Planet. We just heard her boss yelling at her there. So we have another ghost kitty. Bobo was our ghost kitty on the gathering and on the calling there for quite a while. Now that she's gone, someone else has taken over. And it's a Russian blue too, isn't it?
No, that would be Draven. The Russian blue is sitting next to me, along with my first tuxedo, but my Draven, one of my young boys. He's sitting on top of my Papa Legba altar, looking out the front door, trying to get lizards.
That is so gross, dude.
Yeah, they caught one last night. Talk about gross. Yeah, it was bad.
Did they eat it?
Yeah.
And it's like, is that good for them?
I don't know. I'm not going to try to take it out of his mouth.
Yes. Do they come in your house?
Well, what happened last night? I had a client, and we were trying to make sure none of the lizards were on the door, because when the light comes on in here, they're trying to find bugs at night. And so they are attracted to light. And so we thought everything was off the door, except there was a one little tan one that looked like he'd already been through the war. His tail was missing. And he fell, and he hit my arm, fell in the house. I'm like, ugh.
Ew.
And I'm like, well, that lizard just, committed suicide by cat.
Yeah.
Because I didn't.
Okay.
Angel had him in his mouth. He was gone. I'm like, there you go. I'm sorry.
How many cats do you have?
I have 4 inside.
And how many outside?
I feed 2 regularly outside.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like one of those crazy cat ladies that has like 45 of them.
No,
Sorry.
I can't afford that many.
But you would.
I would, because I love cats. I feed a couple others that'll show up outside once in a while, but they don't show up every day.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I want to do one of these quizzes right now. Is there somebody in the chat room that would like to try to guess the quiz, and they can win a mask, the calling mask, and I'll send it right out to you. It's going to be another week yet. They're still making them. So, anybody? Dun, 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 dun. Everybody's afraid. Why are they afraid? God. Oh, well, no one says anything, so forget it. I'm not going to pick anyone. Okay, so now, about the whole thing on the, now what happened with you with aliens, Willow?
Oh, because both of us, I'm like, which one? I've been having experiences since I was very young. My first experience was seeing just a ship with my mother and a Baptist minister in the church parking lot when I was 14. And it came down. My mom and I had been seeing lights all night. And so we decided to go over to the church parking lot where it was darker up on a hill. And sure enough, this ship comes down, hovers over the top of us, and we lost time. I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, we see it raise up, shoot off, it's gone. And the minister looks at us and he goes, "We will never speak of this. This did not happen. Now go home." And I did not talk about it until I was like 25 years old. It was like 10 years plus later before I ever told anybody. And then again in 2002, I was living up in Canada with my now ex-husband. And we lived in a basement apartment. We'd been seeing lights in the sky, but that was a regular occurrence up there by Vancouver. It's like a hot spot for sightings in the sky. And we didn't think anything of it. We came home. We went to bed. I did my little meditation like I always do before I go to sleep. And sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up, sat up on the edge of my bed, but I did not know who I was and I did not know where I was. I had amnesia. And
wow.
And then I hear something and I turn and here's this man standing in the doorway naked with a sword, just freaked out and shaking. And I thought he was there to kill me because I didn't know that was my husband. He had chased something out of the bedroom and out of the house. And he said that, and I didn't know my name until he said, "Willow, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Who are you?" Because I didn't know. "And what are you going to do with that sword?" He's like, "Come with me. Are you all right?" I'm like, "I don't know who I am. What's going on?" I lost it. I completely did not. I was wiped. My mind, my brain, my memory was gone. He said something had held him down in the bed. And when he finally broke free of it, he rolled over, grabbed his sword because it's the only thing he had as a weapon in the bedroom. He grabs it and he like looks over to the doorway and he sees like the outline of something. He knew he could see claws, he could see fangs, and it looked like a lizard. And he's freaked out, but he's like trying to chase this thing out of the house. And we lived in the basement, so our windows were like at ground level. So we had big windows. They opened the window and jumped out and was gone. Now, I'm trying to, wrap all this in my head that doesn't have memory. And he's like, follow me, come here. And he shows me the cats are on top of the bookcase. We had a floor-to-ceiling bookcase. And they're on the top shelf. I had 4 cats at that time. They're all growling. And their hair's still all raised. They're terrified of something. We go into the kitchen, and my dog is in the corner underneath the table, shaking and whimpering.
Wow. And what?
Your husband's seen it then.
Can you hear her?
No.
Kimberly. Can't hear you, Kim. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
All of a
She
sudden
was
we
like
lost
cut
her.
out. Yeah, she just cut out.
Aliens. She's
Must
about
be.
to be abducted. They want that gigantic bottle of water she's got. Have you seen it?
No.
It's huge. Well, your microphone is muted. Now it's unmuted.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. You should be able to hear.
Your volume is so small. She shrank, people, just to let you know. She
Maybe
is
your
now,
microphone. Move your microphone down closer to your mouth.
Now, can you hear me?
No?
Not really. Not any better.
I don't know. That's
Okay,
weird.
people, just to let you know that aliens came into Kimberly's home. They hit her with a ray, and now she's standing exactly
You're funny,
4 inches tall. Oh, she's starting to come back.
You're
She's
funny.
getting bigger. No, there she is. That's
That
good.
was so weird. Oh my gosh.
That was weird.
That was super weird. I didn't touch anything except mute. And then when you guys were telling me that you couldn't hear me, I was just jabbering. I'm all trying to ask Willow all these questions, so that was hilarious.
Yeah, I have no
the-
idea what they were.
I know. The aliens were telling me to shut up already.
Oh my God. Okay. So let's see. We got a couple minutes before break. I guess Steph is just, she's just sitting there. So she doesn't want to do the contest. That's fine. Steph's dad did the intro? Really? No. Wasn't Keenan. Anyway, so, okay, what else were you saying? I'm sorry, before Kim's, what were you trying to say, Kim?
Well,
Yeah,
what I
what
was
were you-
trying to say, so your husband saw it, and then your cats and your dog, so it validated what
Yes.
happened to you. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And
it
you
took
were
me,
out.
Yeah. It took me a couple of days to get my memory fully back.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know if he interrupted them,
Huh?
and like they were starting to either they were bringing me back or they were in the process of taking me.
Okay.
But that's when they would get rid of your memory, so you don't
Right.
remember what
So you
happened.
don't remember
right?
what happens. Yeah,
And
exactly.
yet, so I don't know if he interrupted them, and that's why my memory was taken. Because normally people don't have amnesia;
Right.
they only just don't remember the actual occurrence.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And that's so funny because you said it kind of reminded him like of a kind of a lizard looking, maybe?
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
thing?
I think he saw a reptilian. That's what I think he saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the name of them. Yeah, that's too crazy. That is crazy. So, yeah.
Because I don't think none of us would have been that afraid of a gray. But
Right.
he said this
Well,
thing had
not like
fangs
that.
and
Yeah,
claws,
this
you
is
know?
like something worse. Was it like
Yeah.
really big?
Yeah, it was like man size. He said it was like a full size man sized thing. Yeah. And what he told me, and this was, he goes, I don't know how to describe it,
Uh-huh.
but it was like coming in and out of like a cloaking. Like you could see it kind of, and then you couldn't see it. He goes, the only thing I can describe it was like how Predator was on the
Oh,
movie
Yep.
when it lost its cloak. He
Mhm.
goes, it was doing that, but it not quite. It was just kind of like fuzzy static, and then there, and then not there, and that's what it was doing, and he chased it.
That's crazy.
And so, but that's what it brings me back to that Stan Romanek thing. Okay. Like, I never came forward. I didn't tell anybody about that because people are going to think I'm crazy. First off, I'm an American living with my Canadian husband in Canada. Wasn't there for very long. I don't need to end up in the mental hospital in Canada.
Right. And not only that, I mean, there's been lots of cases of stuff like that in Canada. I've seen a lot of things in Canada. Yep. So that to me, okay, that validates that for sure. And I've had my experience. I've had an experience too. I've had two experiences where one of them is where I got abducted as well. Mm-hmm. And I was very young and I lost time as well. But when it was the process, apparently I had to have been on a ship because I woke up and I could feel these things over me. And you can hear this like a sound, a vibration that was so loud. And I thought for a minute, oh, well, let me get back because we're going on break. And we'll be right back, guys.
Hi, this is Marla Brooks from Stirring the Cauldron. Thursdays are a great night on the Para X Radio Network. We start off the evening with Journey into the Light, Chapter 3, with your hosts, Psychic Little T and Tabby Cat Gash at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then, on the first and third Thursdays of the month at 8 p.m., it's Tango and Friends, hosted by Bruce Tango. And on the alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m., tune in to Stirring the Cauldron, the archive podcast. Every week at 9 p.m. Eastern, join me on Stirring the Cauldron Live. And then at 10 p.m., stick around for New Aeon Now with Lily Alley, Davron Michaels, and Christine Matza. Finally, to round out the night, join Dr. Kelly Renee Schutz on the Paranormal Encounters podcast. All this every Thursday, right here on Para X.
Geek ladies Chong and Victoria from Exploring the Paranormal with Geeks Paranormal are at it again with another amazing season full of paranormal celebrity interviews with amazing guests and stories of haunted locations and so much more. You will hear it first on Para X. Tune in Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central. You will not be disappointed.
You haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid Of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatareyouafraidofpodcast.com.
What Are You Afraid Of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction. We are ready to scare you.
Para X.
Right, we are back. This is Jerry with The Calling, and tonight is a great show. We're having a lot of fun. If you just tuned in, tomorrow you can come to our website, thecallingradioshow.com, and you can see it all listed on there with hundreds of other shows that are fantastic. And don't just stop there. Para X has many, many different shows out there, from cryptid to, it's, you can't even say because it's just so cool. Also The Gathering, which is on Tuesday nights from 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Oh, hey, Kitty. And then you have, right after us, you have Geeks Paranormal with the girls who love wine. Sound, Jerry? Don't I have sound? Yeah, I've got sound. And then, we just got so many things going on. So stick with Para X, stick with us, and let's have some fun. Okay, so we're back, and we've been talking about the Stan Romanek, deal of his, true, false. A lot of people don't believe in it. Some people do believe in it. Myself, he had me for a moment, but then everything went to the, I'm a very skeptical person. If somebody says, hey, look at this new hat, it's like, let me see it. Oh, okay, that is a hat, type of thing. Just kidding. We're also doing some quizzes too. And Stephanie's like, yeah, I know everything about it. I'll do it. And she didn't. The very first guest that we had as the calling when we first started out was A.C. Slade, who at that time was the bassist for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. So, she helped me create this show, too. Anyway, so, okay, we're back. So, girls, anything more you want to say about Romanek's hoax? Show?
Jerry.
Sorry.
Well, Kimberly was telling us her story, and...
Oh, that's right.
Well, I'm just saying, like what Willow's saying, we don't know for sure what really happened to this man. Like, in my case, I don't know. I could have been dreaming for all I know, but I feel like something happened to me, of course. And, and I've seen ships too. So I've seen a ship as well. And, that to me was really crazy. Now, the craziest part is my family also had encounters, which, again, I went to a MUFON. She was, God, I can't remember her name, but I've seen her before, and I think Stephanie knows her name. I can't remember, but we were at a show, and I told her about this incident, and she told me that these particular aliens were interested in my family, and I must have got abducted, and they were probably checking out my, to see if they can, do this whole alien, to breed, and
the hybrids,
human hybrid type thing. So my sister actually had an encounter. My mother had an encounter. My daughter, who was only 5 years old at the time, get this, Willow, never knew anything about UFOs or anything about aliens, didn't even know what they were called. She called them grays.
Oh, wow.
When she had her experience, she said, "Mama, do you see the grays? Did you see the grays? They're in the window."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be freaky.
To me, that was freaky.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I already had an experience. And then it's so funny, too, that she says this. It was a year after she was born.
Wow.
My daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then 5 years later, she told me that the grays were in the window. And this was in San Dimas, California. And I found out later that people also had experiences as well. So who's to say?
Oh, yeah.
So.
Right.
Anyways, wow. But yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, that everybody is lying and it's not real, because when you've had the experience, you know what you went through. To prove it to somebody else is next to impossible because they weren't there. So the Stan Romanek, he had me going, but then when you show these, I'm sorry, you're not going to get grays to do that. That's not the way they behave or move from anybody else's recollection. So that's where he screwed up. Right.
And that's and maybe that's just part that he wanted to let people understand what he's seen. But if you're, like my case too, well, I had never mentioned it until people were telling me about their stories. And that's why, you know what I mean? That's why now
that's when I did.
I'm a little too old to be lying about stuff like that. And then, you can't, what are you going to get out of it? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, I watched another one today too. And it's called Capturing the Light. And it's the Dorothy, Izat story. I think Izatt, I think is her last name. And she's been taking 8mm film video of ships and interacting with them since the 70s. And she's actually used like 3 different cameras to film one time to prove that it's not just the camera. Right.
That's crazy.
She didn't even want to come forward, and people finally made her come forward.
Well, now it's everywhere now. Now even what is it? The military is telling you what they see now. You know what I mean? Now they see these ships going along with these planes, and they're literally recording them and saying, what is this? There's got to
Exactly.
be something else out there,
Yep.
other than, just us. Because I truly believe that. And that's even through ancient times. This is stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
has been recorded forever,
Yep.
So, like, I don't know, Jerry. What are you doing, Jerry? He's so quiet over there.
No, you guys keep going here.
I know. I feel like
it's
I'm
funny is
taking
that
over the show.
no, you're doing great. You're doing great. I put a simple question in, and the simple question was, who is the voice on our theme song?
Okay.
Who does our theme song? And you blew it already in the beginning, Kimberly, and I can't believe no
Nobody's
one
getting it?
doesn't know exactly. Steffi Jean won herself. It was Steffi Jean that did it. So that was so easy. Really, peeps? Exactly, Steph. Okay.
Hilarious. Well, at least I got that part right.
That is just too funny. Okay, so one more question, and this one is actually for a mask and a Bigfoot bracelet or a Yeti bracelet. They go together. It's a set. And that is, pick me, you already got one. What are the words in the Calling radio show theme song in order? There's 7 words. I'm going to tell you that.
So this is the beginning.
This isn't the beginning of the theme song. What are the 7 words that Stephanie says? There you go. And confusing.
Let's see. I got to see this.
The calling. No, the calling is actually the gathering. Anyway, so okay, now what is your thoughts? Because I know I've got my thoughts, which again I am really tough on certain things of the interdimensional channeling. Let's start with Willow on this one. Willow, your thoughts?
I believe from my experiences, once again, I used to go to listen to a channeler, and she channeled, back in Indiana, this lady channeled a being named Salem. Now, the funny thing was, if I go back a little bit, I had been drawn that I needed to go to Salem. I just kept hearing this message in my head. I need to go to Salem. I didn't know who she channeled. Okay. I thought I needed to go to Salem, to Massachusetts. I needed to go there. So my friend invites me to go see this channeler, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I've never done this. So we sit in this room. There's about 20, 25 people in this room. And at the beginning, she says that I will channel the being that has been coming to me now for, I don't remember how many years. That was way back in like 1996. And their name is Salem. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. And so I'm listening, and it was very spiritual messages coming through. And at first I was skeptical because I was all new to this channeling thing. But the messages that people were getting were very spiritual, very uplifting. Her voice did change and became masculine, which was kind of interesting. It was not her voice. So I found that pretty, interesting. And she kept giving, and at the end she would draw names out of a hat, and each time she would do a channeling, like 2 people would get a message that night from Salem personally. And I got one like every time I would go to her channeling, which out of 20-some people, why is my name continually popping up?
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
And the one message that I remember very clearly was that the ancient teachings I once knew and taught, I will teach again. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? I teach Reiki.
Right.
And, and I teach people about spirit and things like that. So I thought it was pretty cool, but I didn't do that in 1996.
Right. Huh.
I had no idea until I moved to Tucson did I learn any of that. And so that was pretty cool. But do I believe it? I think certain people have the ability to channel. I do channel the divine source. but I don't channel like Daryl. What's his name? Daryl Anka, that channels Bashar.
Mhm.
I don't. I'm not a physical channel. That's what I call it, a physical channel, like when they take over your body.
Right. Right.
Okay. I get messages that I know aren't my words because they don't
Mhm.
make sense to me. I'll write them down and things like
Mhm.
that. But, some people are sitting there and their voice changes, their body,
Right.
mannerisms change.
And
Everything
some people
changes.
think that they're actually going through like some type of human or non-human physical being or some type of demonic even.
Right.
It
Yeah, like they're
channels through.
possessed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like a possession. So that's what basically is a channeling through
Right.
that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I think that when they do channel, like even their face will look different. Their eyes will look different. That person will turn into that person. And I don't think, like you say, well, I really don't believe that not everything when you're channeling is going to be bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be just that physical person or something like some type of spirit that can do that. Or you can be able to physically allow that person to channel in through you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
If you give yourself over,
Right. And I think you have to have a certain type of gift to be able to do that. Although it does say you can do meditation, you could do all kinds of different things to get that physical being or non-physical being to channel through you. Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah. So who's to say? But I didn't mean to interrupt you, Willow, but I just think
No, you're right. It's like, who's to say? Everybody, it's like a medium has different ways of the way they do it. Not every medium does it the same way. Not every psychic is the same. Right. Not every channeler is going to be the same.
And here so channeling's been here since Egyptian times.
Oh yeah.
They've been able to do this. And not only that, it's like, so you're getting like people like spiritualism that are into the spiritualism, which are people like who can channel like shamans and priests and different people like that who do those types of things. I mean, who does channeling in that sense. Right. So yeah, so it's pretty amazing about channeling.
Right.
Or being able to do it through meditation or some type of, so you went to see this girl, and did you have to go into some type of meditation type of thing while you were doing this channeling with her?
The whole group, we would just kind of open our minds and quiet ourselves and ground ourselves. I think we did like a beginning kind of meditation for the group to just kind of settle into the energy. I mean, it was a long time ago. I'm talking 1996 here, a long time ago. But then she would speak, and in a way, it almost felt like, and she would say that, Jesus is with us now. And honestly, one night, I felt somebody come up behind me and put their hands on my shoulders.
Wow.
I don't know who it was. I think it was my father.
Really?
I think it was his, because it felt like his energy.
Okay.
And it was so cool because I had not felt that before.
Right.
But that was all during that channeling. Yeah.
Okay. So now do you ask for specific people to come through the channel, or does she just say?
She only channeled a being by the name of Salem.
Okay.
And she would just tell us, like, okay, Christ is with us now, and he's, walking around giving us blessings. And so we all had our eyes closed basically so that we could, sense more.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about it other than she channeled a specific being, and I've been around other channelers too, and they all would channel a specific being by a certain name that, came to them.
Okay, now this is the thing I want to ask, what your thoughts on this. Now, when you're, not that necessarily people have to channel, I want to say, it's also called, isn't there like when a spirit can jump your body as well? I mean, isn't that part of it? Because I know that sometimes we could be doing an investigation of some sort, and all of a sudden, like, my daughter goes into a trance. Like,
Yep.
It's crazy. And I mean, Jerry's been through, we've gone through this with Jerry's team, and all of a sudden, like, she literally gets physically jumped, and she falls to the ground, and it's like crazy, and she doesn't even remember. She doesn't remember anything she went through. But I can see her going into this trance. You know, I can feel her body. I can feel the people trying to jump her. I feel like all these things are happening. So I'm worried because we're all in the dark and we're doing the spirit box session. And I'm thinking to myself, this was at Walcott, Jerry. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what is going on? Like, something is happening to her right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing as when, she necessarily didn't want to channel anybody, but hey, they just jumped her and said, this is what's going to happen, and they used her physical energy. That's what they did. And she just, boom, passed out on the floor, dead to the ground.
Even in voodoo rituals, they allow the Loa to mount them, is what it's called. It's a voluntary possession for their deities to come in and speak through them. Yeah. Okay, and they change their mannerism and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, and I'll tell you this, another thing, I'll tell you this. So one time I was taking these pictures of this girl. She asked me to do an investigation, and I was taking pictures of her, but she was acting really oddly, like super oddly. And we were doing the investigation. I was telling her all these things, what I was seeing, what was going on. I could see these little creatures trying to come through her doorway. I'm not kidding you guys. It's just was so odd. And then when she was speaking to me, she was losing her mannerism on how she spoke, and like she sounded totally different. And then I said, I don't know, but I think I need to take pictures of her. So I was sneaking, kind of taking these pictures, these photos of her, and you can literally see a male figure like transparent her face. I have those pictures, and it's like crazy. Like, I'm like, okay, so what is coming through her? It's like something literally was coming through her at that time, because she couldn't even speak right. So again, even though she wasn't asking to be, wasn't doing a physical channel or anything, again, what could it be? Like a spirit just jumping her and probably wanting to take her physical form to talk to me, in a sense. You know what I mean? Let me know he was there, So, so I just think that the whole channeling thing is, I believe in channeling completely. Yeah. So, Jerry?
Yep. No, keep going. You're doing great. There is a question, though. Steve was asking, is channeling dangerous? Can it be?
I would say for somebody who is not trained, does not know how to protect themselves spiritually, then I would say yes. Let's just say there's a 15, 16-year-old kid there trying to channel for the first time, letting whatever spirit come through. Yeah, that could be very dangerous, because that spirit could be very strong, and they may not be able to let go of them, and or push them out. And then it can be very dangerous. Right. So, yes, because they could become possessed at a longer period of time than just during their little, time they want it to be. So I learned a long time ago how to protect myself. So if spirit wants to speak through me, I let them speak through me, and I can feel it when they try, because I can feel their energy. They'll step into me, and I'll feel electric shock from my feet all the way up and into my throat. And then I can even feel how high they are.
So question then, with Steve's question being, can it be dangerous to do this? So for a person, just a regular person and stuff like that, and this starts to come through, someone who doesn't know how to handle it and stuff, could that be dangerous?
Yes.
Okay, so it could be dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's a definite yes, but yet why would you allow someone to do that to you? I'm just curious.
I've been trained by many people in how to handle situations. And because I'm a natural medium, I've been that way since I was 3 years old. Spirits have always come to me. So if I'm in a ritual, for instance, because I've participated here in New Orleans in voodoo ritual, I have been mounted by one of the Loa and have channeled them on Halloween a few times. And they had me drink an entire bottle of rum. An entire bottle.
Jesus.
And I'm not talking a small bottle. I'm talking a whole bottle of old New Orleans spiced rum. While I moved to voodoo drumming, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor. Everybody thought I passed out drunk. And when I woke up, I had given messages to every single person in the room from their dead ancestors. And then I wake up and I'm like, I'm hungry. I wasn't drunk. I didn't feel any of it. Spirit took all the alcohol with them.
Right. Wow.
That's how we knew that it was an authentic, situation. That was our confirmation.
Wow. I've never experienced anything like that. I experienced, having a spirit kick my butt, but I mean, I've never had anything like that. Kimmy, you?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, Kimmy's really tiny again. The aliens shrunk her. She's like 3 inches tall. We can't hear her. Lips are moving. She's screaming help. She's crying. Oh my God, Kimberly. I don't know. Anybody else know? No, we don't know.
I think your microphone's just dying.
I think so too.
There's a short in it or something.
And that's the big thing too. Like, what Steph was saying, learn to protect myself from this kind of thing. Exactly. Protect yourself from it, but don't just let it happen.
Right.
I think a person can protect themselves from different things, but if something like that actually happens, then how can you protect yourself if it's the first time and it just happened?
Right.
So
right.
We're down to 1 minute. 1 minute left. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. Gosh, there's a lot of things to say. Just not enough time to do it in, except for you people who don't know how much about the calling. My God, a lot of you guys are listening. I'm just shocked and hurt. I'm not going to do it again.
Maybe we could do it on the Facebook page.
We'll see. Let's see who's on next week. We really don't have a guest next week, do we?
Not yet.
Nope. It's just going to be Paranormal Babble, and we're going to have some fun. And we appreciate everybody for listening. We thank you very much, except for the Geeks Paranormal Girls Show. And thanks for choosing Para X. And Sarge, thank you. You're the best. And to all the troops that are listening in right now, we really, really appreciate you. You're awesome. Click on your name, do the right, look down the list. There should be set a rank shape. I don't know nothing about that. I'll be darned. Anyway, well, thank you all. Thank you, Willow. Thank you, little bitty teeny Kimberly. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.